Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to my informative speech. I hope you stay until the end. Today, I will be talking to you about a subject that I think it's important. It's called keeping kids safe. I want to bring awareness to protecting our next generation and the children around our communities, our homes, and the world. This is a subject that is out there, but sometimes we don't talk too much about it because it's complex, maybe because it makes us feel uncomfortable, or we just don't have enough information. A question that I have for you is, do you know that April is the National Abuse Prevention Month? Did you know that? Yep. In April, there's a lot of people around the community who get together, who bring awareness to this subject about keeping kids safe and stopping child abuse. They wear some ribbons on their shirts, and they pay for extra advertisement, and they get together as a community. However, I do think that bringing awareness to keeping kids safe and stopping child abuse should be something that we don't just bring the awareness on one specific month, but throughout the year. According to childwelfare.gov website, which shows a prevention resource guide 2021-22, says that the National Child Abuse Prevention Month recognizes the importance of families and communities working together to strengthen families to prevent child abuse and neglect. Through this collaboration, prevention services and support help protect children and produce thriving families. Right now, communities are making their best to work with families to protect the next generations, to bring awareness and just to educate people about identifying behaviors and preventing behaviors. Why should we care about this subject? Because our children are the future of this nation and the world. And if we have children who are happy right now, who feel loved, who feel cared for, then we will have a future that is brighter, healthier. We will have adults with good self-esteem. But if we have right now kids who are being molested, who are being neglected, who are being not loved and we're not caring for, then the process is a little bit more difficult because we have to help them to heal first before they can actually give back to the community. So that's what I think is important. Another important factor to mention is that child abuse doesn't only come in one specific form. As I was researching, all I thought about maybe keeping kids safe from sexual child abuse, but it's actually so many different types. For example, there is child maltreatment and neglection, child sexual abuse, child mental and physical abuse, among others. According to Statista.com, in 2019, there were more than 6 million reported cases of child abuse in the world. And the most common form of maltreatment in the US was neglect. Neglecting our children and not giving them what they need. Today, I will be sharing a little bit more about the different types of child abuse, and I will be informing you in how to keeping our kids safe. My goal is to make sure that we know a little bit more about it, because the more we know, the more we can help others. And I would like to start my point today. So it will be point number one, it will be child malnutrition and neglect as a form of child abuse. We do have my second point will be sexual child abuse. And third will be how can we help our communities right now to prevent from this issue to keep happening. So with my first point, I will be talking about child malnutrition and neglect. And according to the World Health Organization, UNICEF, Joint Child Malnutrition Estimate 2021 edition tells us that malnutrition refers to deficiencies, excesses, or imbalances in persons' intakes of energy, and other nutrients. And these can be categorized in 3 groups. So the UNICEF organization has categorized the neglect and malnutrition in 3 different categories. Number 1 is stunting. Number 2 is wasting. Number 3 is overweight. And stunting refers to a physical damage that brings stunt growth. And this is when children are not getting enough nutrients in their bodies, so they don't grow to their full potential in height. Then we're talking about wasting. And wasting refers to a child who is too thin for his or her height. And the last one is overweight. And this is when childs are too heavy for his or her height. So we have 3 ways. 1 is when you're not getting enough nutrients, so you stay small. 2, we said that wasting refers to somebody who's too thin for his height. And the last one was overweight, when children are taking more calories than needed, and they're not just healthy calories or nutrients that they need, but they're actually adding things that they don't need that become fat in their bodies. I would like to address another type of child abuse, and that's my second point, and that is sexual child abuse. In this subject, it's a little bit more complex, and it feels more uncomfortable, but it's actually real. And there's a lot of people out there that are going through this difficult type of sexual abuse, or there's children that know of someone. And you know that we don't speak up. There's not enough people, and there are not enough children knowing what to do and how to do it. According to Children's Assessment Center, sexual abuse happens when an older person or an adult takes advantage of a minor in so many different types. This includes sexual touching and not touching, acts like exhibition, exposure to pornography, photography for self-gratification, solicitation of a child for prostitution, and so much more. When I talk about this subject, I just want to tell you that there's always something that we can do to stop this. And if you know something, say something. If you know a child and you see a child around you, make sure that you protect that child, or he is or she is protected. And for my last point, point 3, I like to just quick saying that if you think you know something, please say it. If you work with children in any capacity, obtain some kind of knowledge about children. Educate yourself about what are the conditions, the pros and the cons of working with children. First of all, let's always protect a child, right? Report something if you see something. And ensure that families, communities are equipped with enough resources to bring awareness to the subject and to know what to do. In conclusion, today we were able to talk a little bit more about child abuse, why we have to protect the next generation. We did talk about that child abuse doesn't only come in one form, but it comes in many forms. And we did talk about 2 today, which was malnutrition and neglect, and sexual child abuse. I gave you a few points also in how to prevent or what to do when we know about a case of child abuse, or just how to educate ourselves to know more about the subject and to bring awareness. And educating ourselves, and this is my conclusion, educating ourselves won't stop the problem. However, it will make it more difficult for people because we're aware and we know how to act upon it. So remember, child abuse is out there and it's closer than we think. We just have to make sure that we know how to address the situation when needed. And it is your job and my job to protect the next generation, to protect the children out there. It doesn't take that much for us to be intentional about having conversation with children or for families about what are we doing to bring awareness to this subject. Our children are the future of this country. Therefore, we need to be ready to protect the next generation at all cost and at all time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this informative speech gave you some new information, and there's so many resources out there that you can look for yourself and see that there's information to share with everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye.